Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk a little bit more about our Yosemite National Park trip. We went there back in September of 2024 and we did a camping slash hiking backcountry trip. And I want to go over our itinerary and what we did, every place we visited, and our time frame. So if you're going to the Yosemite National Park anytime soon, or you just always wanted to visit there but never really got to, and you're just curious to know how it is, keep watching this video and we're going to go over everything. Over the course of 4 days, we explored landmarks, woods, trails, hidden gems, museum, Yosemite Valley, all of that. I'm gonna go from the start and we're gonna see all our itinerary, how long it took us to do trails, drives, and all of that. I hope you guys like it because that trip was amazing. I really wanted to share our planning with you guys here. We started our first day at Azalea Campground at Sequoia National Park because we spent the first 2 days of the trip going Kings Canyon, Sequoia National Park. Then we woke up at 5 a.m. and we were planning to watch the sunrise over at Panoramic Point, which was very close to that campground, but we gave up on that because we wanted to leave at 5 a.m. and go straight to Yosemite National Park. The Highway 41 is one of the main gateways into Yosemite National Park, and it's about a 2.5 hour drive from Sequoia National Park to Yosemite. So, you know, we got up at 5 a.m., wrapped everything up. I think we left around 6, and then we got over to the Yosemite National Park around 9-ish, I would say, considering traffic and everything. It's crazy that even before the main entrance of the park, you are already surrounded by the pine forest. Everything is so crazy. While we were inside the park, after we went through the gates, we stopped at a couple points just to take some pictures, and then we were headed to the tunnel view. Tunnel view is one of the most iconic parts of the park, which you guys may have seen on social media, which you can see Half Dome, El Cap, Bridal Veil, and the valley, and it's amazing. It's very busy normally and a lot of tourists, but it's a must stop if you guys go there. Straight after Tunnel View, we hung out in the Yosemite Valley and we just explored a little bit. It was really nice. It was so beautiful. And we went in the shops, bought some souvenirs, and then we went to pick up our backcountry permit. If you guys don't know, when you go camping, you can either go to a campground, which is where everyone kind of stays together. Each one has their campground, but they are close together, or you can do a backcountry, and then you can go into the woods and you can pick your spot wherever you'd like, of course within the limits that they tell you that you can, but you need a permit for that. So we applied for that and we went to pick up in the Yosemite Valley, and it was super simple. It just guided us through everything we needed, asked if we had beer canisters, and mainly if we were prepared and if we knew what we were doing there. After that, we went straight to the Hetch Hetchy reservoir, which was our first backcountry camping, and it was a tough hike. If you plan to go to the Yosemite National Park, this is a very nice hike, but I will say that I think it's best if you go during the spring because the waterfalls were all dried up when we were there. So it was very hard to find water. The first 3 waterfalls uphill were dried up, so we didn't have water. We were unprepared, and it was very hot. There's not a lot of shade throughout the trail, so bring a lot of food, bring a lot of water, and make sure you eat lunch or breakfast, a good breakfast before you start your hike, and try not to start the hike like us in the middle of the day because we started around noon and we were planning to eat lunch throughout the hike, but we didn't have water or anything. So anyway, just plan your hike and check everything on All Trails. All Trails is really good for that as well, and just check with the permit station and the rangers. Just ask them a couple of questions about the area that you're going to hike, just to see if water's still running, where you can get water, how far into the trail you're gonna find water, because those are very important questions that we didn't ask on that first hike. It was a very difficult hike. It's moderate, but it was our first hike, so we were beginners. So having the first hike being moderate, it was a little tough and unprepared. It's a 13-mile loop and 2,500 feet in elevation, something around that. So yeah, it was really nice. The views were amazing, especially when you get to Rancheria Falls. It's stunning. I cannot even imagine how beautiful it would be when the water is running. So a lot of people were like, oh, just imagine the water, because some of them were dried up and people were like, imagine the water running, it's so pretty. And I'm like, I just really wanted the water to be here. But I saw some videos online and it's really nice. So I really recommend that one during the spring. Do not go during the fall because it's all dried up. Alright, so that was the wrap up of day one. Day one was a struggle, and on the second day, we woke up, we hiked, we finished the hike to the top of Rancheria Falls, and then we hiked everything back, but we only made it back to the car around 2 p.m. and our whole itinerary was supposed to get us back to the car around 10 a.m. because we were planning to do the Yosemite Falls trail, the very hard trail where it's uphill the whole time. We were planning to do that right after the Hetch Hetchy one, but we didn't get to do that. We were really tired. We were completely exhausted after the Hetch Hetchy one, so we skipped on that one, and we were able to get a last-minute campground in the Yosemite Valley, which was very helpful, and it was able to give us a relaxing day. And we went to the restaurants that they had in the Yosemite Valley, which were really, really good. They had great burgers and the French fries. We were just hungry, so everything tastes better after you eat camping meals for like a couple of days. So you're really able to appreciate any burger. Honestly, I feel like any type of food after you have camping meals after a few days. But either way, we got to hang out there and we watched the sunset at Glacier Point, which was fantastic. It was one of the best sunsets we've seen. Panoramic Point and Sequoia National Park was also high up there. I don't know which one I would pick. I think both were really nice, but definitely a must stop. It's also a very touristy point, iconic views, but it's a must stop. I really recommend stopping at Glacier Point for sunset. I think it's a very nice view at sunset. On the next day, we had to pick up another permit for a backcountry hike, and we were gonna stay at Glen Allen, and we started at Tuolumne Meadows. So the Tuolumne Meadows and the Glen Allen trailhead, they are about an hour and a half away from the main area, which is the Yosemite Valley. So just plan around for that. So we left really early. We were able to grab some breakfast, like a muffin and some coffee, just before we went into the backcountry again. And we did that, drove an hour and a half, got there, and I will say that that hike was way easier for us. If you're a beginner, I definitely recommend that hike. If you start at Tuolumne Meadows, walk towards Glen Allen, and we just passed Glen Allen a little bit and we camped over there, and then we made our way back because you can keep going further, but it starts getting harder and harder, and we had to go back home the next day. Another thing about this specific trail, if you do the whole Tuolumne Meadows and the whole Glen Allen, everything until the end, you can get a shuttle bus that will take you and will drop you back where your car is, but it only runs certain times of year, and we were unlucky that the shuttle wasn't working when we were there, so that's why we also didn't complete the whole thing, because we did not want to hitchhike. I've seen many movies and I portrayed that I did not want to do that, but anyways, we loved that hike. It was one of the best things ever. It was not very hard. The elevation was not bad. On the way back, I feel like the elevation is a little worse than on the way into Glen Allen, but it was manageable, and it's so beautiful. Like, the views are breathtaking, and I think it's the prettiest place on the whole trip, in my opinion. I couldn't stop taking pictures. I couldn't stop just staring at it. It was just really, really nice, and just made the whole experience so enjoyable. And about water that I was talking about, Hetch Hetchy not having water. Water at Tuolumne Meadows is so easy because you're walking alongside the river, and that river feeds into Hetch Hetchy, and then the water from Hetch Hetchy feeds into San Francisco. It's like the San Francisco reservoir. But anyways, so it's all kind of connected. So it was really nice to see everything that we did. On the next morning, we had to wake up and gather everything really quickly. We did wake up late. We slept in. We woke up, I think, at 7 a.m. and we were supposed to wake up at 5. But we were really tired. We slept over 10 hours. And our flight, I think, was at 5 p.m. on that day, and we had to hike all the way back from Glen Allen to the Tuolumne Meadows where the trailhead was, and then we had to drive back to the airport, which was over 3 hours. So it was a tight schedule, but we made it. We literally made it 6 minutes before they closed the check-in for the flight. So we were really lucky. Overall, the 2 backcountries that we did were awesome. The first one was more challenging, more elevation, less water, and also not a lot of shade. And then the second one, which was the Tuolumne Meadows, was great. It was an 11-mile loop and a lot of shade, not a lot of elevation, a lot of water available for you. And both are very quiet. There's not a lot of people on those hikes. It's very far away from the main area of the park, and it's underrated, honestly, because we didn't see almost anyone on the Tuolumne Meadows trail. I was shocked because it was my favorite. On the Hetch Hetchy, we did see more people, especially on the way back on the second day, but obviously not as many people as you can see in the Yosemite Valley, all those campgrounds, all of that. But if you're going, and especially if you like camping, hiking, backcountry, I really recommend the Tuolumne Meadows and Hetch Hetchy during spring for sure. I hope this video helped you guys a little bit, and I've shown you some of the areas that we've been and what we kind of did on those 4 days being able to do backcountry. And if you're an experienced hiker and you can do the Hetch Hetchy and pull off the Yosemite Falls on the next day, I would recommend it. I know it's very challenging. The Yosemite Falls trail is very challenging. I've seen that, but if you want to do that and you want to face that one together and put it in the middle, we had planned for that. So if you're able to, go ahead and do it, and I think you'll have fun either way. And I cannot wait to do more camping trips and backpacking trips like this. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment what trips you guys recommend, what parks, national parks you guys recommend or you've been to and you really like. But yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Bye!